I love that belief. I love how it's all going down. Fire, let's keep this rolling.
Truly a monumental day in the Counter-Strike calendar, and so many banger matchups coming up. Of course, we've got some new blood entering the major system. We see that in our first match of the day with some newcomers in 90 versus GamerLegion. We've also got the hometown heroes as well. We see Fallen on our screen representing for Imperial, of course 0-0 Nation as well, and Furia to be capping off that Brazilian list. We've also got some clear favorites, I guess it's fair to say. We've got Vitality, then Cloud9 going on the B stream, because we've got two matches happening simultaneously here at the Challenger stage for day one. So many incredible storylines coming into this major, and already an absolutely incredible crowd. We've got an appetizer to start off before what's going to be a mammoth steak dinner of the first day of the IEM Rio Major. I've got Moses and of course Peacemaker here joining me. Peacemaker, for you, this must be a huge moment. Brazil's first ever CSGO major.
Yeah, I mean, it's first of all like pleasure to be here with you guys in my home country, right? And yeah, I mean, I don't know if people understand what it means to the Brazilian scene, right? Like even for me, like started back in 2002, and then we started having big events here by 2016 or something, and then now finally having
¿Qué onda, Wilson, papá? ¿Qué onda? Vamos, viejo, vamos.
Amazing crowd, like it means the world, right? Like yeah, and hopefully helps our scene to develop even more and have more investment and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like a testament and a culmination of
Estamos haciendo la previa acá, falta todavía, pero qué lindo estar ahí, viejo. Fíjate toda la gente que hay.
Yeah, you have such a huge legacy in the Counter-Strike scene as well. What is it, almost 2 decades being in CS? That must be an incredible achievement to have the Brazilian major here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, some of these players who are playing here today, right, the Imperial guys and everything, they all cemented everything, right? They started everything together with me, together with some other players, right, and coaches. And so it's just a very emotional moment for all of us to finally have an opportunity to compete for a home crowd. And yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see what the Brazilian teams are going to be able to do here with the crowd and the support from the fans. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting one. Is that crowd dynamic is just going to be it's unusual too, because you want to talk about it in terms of like we have the home crowd.
Es que es la primera major. No sé cómo está el sonido ahí. Dígame si se escucha bien mi voz respecto al stream. Pero primera major en Latinoamérica, primera major en Brasil. Fíjate la gente, la gente va a ser una locura. Están con la camiseta del Flamengo, los locos ahí.
Yeah, it's wild. I've had the privilege of doing, I think, like 4 events in Brazil, Sao Paulo, Belo Horizonte, now here in Rio as well. When it comes to like a crowd kind of environment, it's almost like you count each Brazilian fan as like 3. They make a wild amount of noise. They brought horns in. We've had so many events where you can't even hear what's going on. You can't even hear yourself speaking. So it's just going to build up. It's going to get better than this all throughout the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, there was a particular moment. Was it Sao Paulo or Belo Horizonte?
That was Belo Horizonte, yeah. Well, that one coincided as well with, we were doing like a pre-show. It was the World Cup was going on as well. And Brazil was playing at the same time as the
Dale, viejo, qué nervio que ya tengo. Tenemos que ganar el primer match. Hay que ganar el primer match.
The eruption in that arena, it's just so mental. The amount of love that all the Brazilians have, support they give to all their players.
Qué fiesta que va a ser.
Truly special.
¿Habrá mucha gente argentina? ¿Qué dicen ustedes? Un puñado de gente tiene que haber.
How much pressure do you think that's going to add to maybe some of the rookie members of squads we're going to see?
Yeah, I think, especially for the young players, I think it's a little harder, right? For some of these players, for example, I don't think they played majors before, and then going straight into this with the crowd and the support from the fans and stuff. Obviously, you feel a little bit nervous, so I think it's important from the the coaching staff and everyone, a lot of psychologists and everything, to calm those players down and understand that, like, the format itself, it does kind of help a little bit, because like you start in a best of
9Z es el primer partido del Major, sí. Se arranca con 9Z. Creo que hay otro partido al mismo horario, Mouse y OG, si no me equivoco. Sí.
It could be challenging, but most of these players, like they're used to competing and stuff like that, so they should be able to handle it. Yeah.
challenging too, I think, for the experienced players. When you think like Taco and coldzera on one side and their new like leadership roles, and then you have obviously Fallen and Fur on the other side.
Yeah.
Like the young players with that kind of a pressure, but then you got to think the experienced players are going to have to be really focused on keeping those young guys, you know, together, like calming them down when need be, and making sure they're ramping up and building momentum when they have the opportunity. So I think there's some trickiness on both sides of the table.
Yeah, are there any kind of maybe clear-cut favorites that your guys are seeing coming into day one? Are you putting any of the Brazilian teams up there going, you know what, this is the moment that they're going to be shining in front of their home crowd?
For Brazilians,
Furia, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Furia.
Against Big.
Furia. And I think
Elias.
Generation as well, at least from what I heard, they have been putting a lot of practice and prior to this and boot camping and everything. So I think for Taco and coldzera as well, you know, having played so many majors and stuff, I think, and they also have a team with a great mixture of like young generation, you know, young players with a lot of talent, and those two guys. So yeah, I
Actually, that first game, or that kind of Double O Nation Bad News Eagles game for me is like a little bit of a trap game, I think, for Double O Nation, because you have the young players with the pressure of performing in front of their home crowd. You have another inexperienced team on the other side of things. Both of them are going to be very momentum-based, very in your face. But for Double O Nation, I mean, they can either skyrocket and
Vamos,
go
loco,
crazy,
vamos,
or if
vamos,
that
vamos.
pressure gets to them too much, we could see them kind of collapse in the face of Bad News Eagles, who can bring some
¿Qué onda,
firepower into the
Guaucito?
game.
Yeah, they're definitely a team that's able to bring the
Lo que
pressure
vos
when
quieras,
it's
bebé.
needed. Just going back to your point about coldzera, Taco, obviously Fur and Fallen as well. Did you guys see the picture for
Vamos,
the media
viejo,
day
vamos,
yesterday
vamos,
when they had
vamos,
the
vamos.
whole
Es hoy,
crew
es
back
hoy.
together? I loved seeing that.
saw that.
Hoy,
Yanko had
hoy
an
tenemos que
opportunity
arrancar
to talk
ganando.
to them yesterday during media day, like a little long-form conversation. And that was one of the big things they talked about and started, you know, conversing, because we mentioned to him, you know, if you go back in 2016 when those guys were in like LG and
Encima se juega hasta las 9 de la noche. Hasta las 9 se juega. Hoy streameo todo el día, gente. Hoy termino sin raya del orto, pero se streamea.
Everything around being the hometown players in a region like Brazil, all the media that comes along with it, all the friends and family that want to be there for the first time probably ever in 2 decades, able to really see you play on this level of a tournament. You know, that was one of the main focal points they had, was how difficult it is to maintain that focus and keep your eye on the prize in that sense and not be distracted by everything outside of Counter-Strike itself.
Yeah, also I would say the same for Furia, right? Furia has been a team that everybody has expecting them to, you know, finally win a big trophy and stuff like that. And it has been like a kind of like a mental block for them, right? That
Sí, Chucky, estamos todos iguales, boludo. Desde anoche me costaba dormirme. O sea, parece una exageración, pero estaba ansioso, estaba ansioso.
Stuff like that. I really hope that they're able to put up, you know, a good performance, and also able to, you know, kind of go through this mental block. And yeah,
they're the only hope for the Brazilians. They better do it, baby. This is the time.
Yeah, this is the time.
Yeah, literally do or die time coming into things. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for your thoughts.
Hoy tenemos que arrancar con una victoria, por favor. Es BO1. Vamos a ver cómo estamos, muchachos. Si se pierde igual no pasa nada, pero dale, a ver esta intro. ¿Qué onda? Brasil, Río.
Finally getting back into a major again. It's been quite a while since me and Fnatic were in there.
We are not so happy right now because we didn't get Legend spot. I believe that we will be more hungry.
We definitely gave it our all, and this was the goal since I joined this organization, to help them reach their first ever major.
Our team is a complete team of youngsters. They've always wanted to be in the major, and now they've finally made it.
GamerLegion have eliminated G2 from the European RMR. It's all OG. It is them going to Rio. The biggest stage that Brazil has ever seen.
It's not the team who plays better that wins, in my opinion, the team who makes less mistakes.
Qué lindo es el CS,
Who is
La puta madre.
underdog, they have like some advantage.
People have us on the radar. People know that we can be dangerous.
Maybe they will play a bit more YOLO, maybe they will have pressure, I don't know, because it's a major, it's always different.
It don't really matter how you will win, if you will do it.
The major is definitely the best place to be innovative.
O sea, no importa la manera de ganar, si ganan.
Their strats aren't going to mean anything if they're dead.
Teams will underestimate us, and I think that's going to be a big problem for them.
We haven't really proved a lot yet, but we will absolutely destroy them.
Se tienen confianza los franchutes.
We have everything to lose as a team. You expect to go through the next stage.
I don't really care what's the format on the major, I just know we're going to make it to quarters.
Dice que van a llegar a cuartos, Fnatic. Mira vos.
Once we get
El pelado Crims. Sí, hoy gana GamerLegion. No sé para qué nos levantamos temprano, todo. Hay chance que gane 9 set. Como dice Facu.
Been 2 years that I didn't qualify. I gave up everything that I like to do just to put my focus there again.
We are the underdogs. We're gonna be living our dream of playing the major in front of our crowd.
I think the opponents are gonna feel more the pressure. Brazilian fans, they are crazy. They love the game and they are really passionate.
So of course, it's on Brazil. It's hometown. It's gonna be the entire crowd cheering for us. So we need to take that energy and just put that in the game. It's just gonna be one of those moments in life that you stick with it and it's gonna be life-changing.
Everyone's looking to prove themselves and looking to just do damage.
All I'm saying is watch out at the major. They're gonna be dangerous.
It means everything for us. That's why we work, that's why we play CS. We want to make everyone proud.
Blood, sweat, tears, heart and soul poured into making it to this very stage. It's Challengers Day 1 here at the IEM.
Escúchame. Gente. ¿Se me cayó a mí? Hola. No me la contestes. ¿Qué onda? ¿Me escuchan, no? What the fuck? Carajo, me sacó de Twitch. What the fuck? ¿Qué carajo? What? Igual por lo menos falta para empezar. Acá. ¿Qué carajo? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué mierda? What the fuck? A ver, Bankman. A ver si busco acá por lo menos. No, pero no está en inglés. What? ¿A ustedes les anda? ¿Les anda Twitch? ¿A ustedes? Decí que prendí antes, gente, porque me moría si me pasaba esto en pleno partida. Fuck. ¿Qué pasa? Ahí está, pero ¿se les había caído a ustedes también? ¿Qué carajo? No me hagan asustar, la concha. Uf, viejo. Casi me da un preinfarto. No dan drop. Eso era hace mucho. Creo que hasta 2018 dieron drop. Después no dan más drop.
In terms of favourites, when we're looking at the list of teams that we've got on the docket, who are you pitting as, you know, who did you put as your 3-0 in the pickets? Are you one of those guys that goes for, I've just got to get points,
ahí están los pibes, dale.
or are you the person that goes,
¿Qué onda
actually,
ese?
I believe this team's going to go 3-0?
No, I go a little funky when it comes to my 3-0 pick'ems. I go for a team that could surprise. I think Fnatic, for example, is a team that we might not put too much thought into it, but the Copenhagen Flames duo, Nikodos and Roy, is an extremely strong one. We have Krims with his experience, so I think that they could be sleepers for a 3-0, surprise everybody.
Nice. Have you got any underdogs, Peacemaker, that you're kind of keeping an an eye out for?
15 minutos, gente. 15.
I mean, I guess. I mean, on my PCAM, I put.
Who's your trio?
Yeah, who's your trio?
My trio is Cloud9.
Okay, that makes sense.
Safe.
Order, rationale, I like that. I
Yeah.
picked Vitality, obviously, just
Gas.
pure sellout mode.
Pure
but,
gas.
I mean, maybe from your perspective, Maniac, because obviously we just saw the showdown going down where unfortunately Vitality didn't make it through. How much stock are you actually putting into that result? Because we look at the side of Vitality, so many major winners. Dupree, the only player to attend all 18 majors. I think he's going to be thriving.
Vamos, gente, vamos. No conozco a nadie encima de GamerLegion. O sea, literalmente sé que le ganaron a G2 nada más. No tengo otra información. No deben jugar mal si le ganaron a G2 en un BO3.
2015, that's how far it goes. You talk about the showdown. In a way, this might have been the best thing possible for them to just absolutely shit the bed right at that moment, so that they could come here being aware of their own flaws and weaknesses, right? I think that the greatest danger for a team is to roll up here at the major thinking that the victory is going to come to you if you just do what you have to do, and this is not how
El juego los vende, sí, Chucky. Vos, si compras el pase, podés comprar tokens, que con eso los cambiás por paquete de souvenir. Sí, señor.
Do you have trust in Vitality?
Yeah, I do have trust in Vitality. I think one thing that could be a little challenging for them is, you start the event with the crowd, with, against
Ahí,
the
como dice Elías, del pase.
and everything.
Sí, sí, sí.
I know I saw in some interviews that they were having like a little bit of communication issues because of the language barrier, So like that could be challenging, with a very loud crowd and then playing your first game in the arena against, the home favorites like
Imperial,
Imperial, right? So, it could be challenging at best of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely incredible to see going down. We are going to head over to a quick break, but when we are back, it's going to be 90 taking on GamerLegion on our first match.
Está, después de la pausa, 9Z y GamerLegion. Mirá los pibardos ahí preparándose. ¿Qué onda, Mati? Ahí está. Max con el chabón de GamerLegion. Es mi trabajo. Sí, sí, sí. Acá toda la gente. Es que este es horario laboral. Ojalá, ojalá, Juan. Ojalá. Yo porque tengo la suerte que estudio y curso a la tarde, pero... Pero sí, sí, sí. Hay una banda de gente que mira el trabajo. Sí. Uy. Qué lindo sería empezar con el pie derecho ahí ya. Un 1-0. Capaz de soñar demasiado, ¿no? Pero es ganable, es un BO1. No lo veo imposible. Qué jugador Shekindar. Estudio profesorado de inglés. Ah, mira, hay otro que está laburando ahí. Vamos, viejo. 10 minutos y arranca. Linda, linda. Ahora, ya arranca. En 10 minutos arranca la partida. Hoy MVP en EQZ, ojalá que esté desnudo en EQZ. Yo ya tengo 2 hijos y estoy casado, no me puedo dar el lujo de... Y bueno. Pero, ¿sos feliz o no? Por lo menos te das tu... Mouse, este vago es el upper de mouse.
They're both down on the bomb site. One good kill. OC picks up one more. Oh,
Unbelievable. Respiremos hondo. Dale, dale, dale. Bueno, qué lindo una Major en Río, viejo. Se tiene que hacer más seguido en Sudamérica. Pasa que bueno, infraestructura complicado. ¿Se imaginan en Buenos Aires una Major? Una banda. Pero déjame soñar.
On the side of GamerLegion, all teams arriving earlier this morning and getting pumped to play in front of what's going to be a truly monumental crowd for day one of the Challenger stage of the IEM Rio Major. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, I believe James Banks is down on the show.
O sea, no es por bardear al Valorant, pero el Valorant nunca va a generar esto. O sea, está bien, es un juego nuevo igual. Totalmente, Matías, totalmente.
How are we feeling? I'm feeling great. I'm pumped to open this up. I'm pumped to start the day. I'm excited to finally be here. I mean, I don't know. This is just wild.
Now, Moses, I'm going to start with you. It's going to be the first map, best of one of the major. What do you want to see, man?
Primer mapa BO1 de la
The
Major.
community's got a little bit of a hate boner for it, but I want Mirage. I want Mirage all day. Both these teams are solid on it. We saw GamerLegion with
Quiere ver un Mirage porque los dos equipos son buenos en él.
I want to see Mirage between these two teams.
Sayado, what are you thinking?
Honestly, I don't care as long as it's not Vertigo. Anything but Vertigo.
No le importa, pero mientras no sea Vértigo, que sea cualquier mapa. Ya, ahí banearon tus dos. Y sí, porque es el mejor mapa de... Ahí está, ahí banearon Vértigo. Ancient y va a quedar Mirage, parece. ¿Banearon Mirage? ¿Qué queda? ¿Overpass? Inferno, se juega Inferno.
Coming in as the map in this best of one series, so no happy face for
Juega
Moses. But I
Inferno.
like Inferno. That's a nice match to be starting off with.
I love Inferno. I'm part of the Inferno gang myself.
Yep.
I might be the president of that club, of course, self-proclaimed president. No one's. Do you like Inferno? Are you in the Inferno gang as well?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we all agree we're good on that Inferno gang.
Uy, Chucky es una banda, pero ¿sabés cómo yo me hago también si Z llega? Es más, que llegue a cuarto ya es una locura igual.
But also a
Pero
very dangerous one because losing to either of these teams put you in a 0-1. We know the bullhole system. It's not the way to kick off your major campaign.
Yeah, definitely savage.
5 minutos.
Indeed. I want to start off by talking about 90, particularly as they are, you know, the
Nada
South
más.
American representation coming into things. Going to be so exciting for them coming in front of playing in front of rather their home crowd because Matthew, there are some newcomers. There are some major rookies on the side of 90.
Yeah, they are actually. You're right. Some of these players, the likes of Max, DGT, or David, have been at the major before. They've had this challenger stint in Antwerp. But for NQZ, for Buddha, that's their first time. It is their first time. But they do have an ace in their pocket. They do have Zach, who we know has a wealth of experience as a coach.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like the importance of Zach as a coach for this team, you know, as a major finalist with Immortals back in the days, like I think it's very important that he calm those players down, you know, like keep them.
es verdad lo que dice. Zack es muy importante, ya que llegó a la final con Immortals en 2017. Le da experiencia al grupo. ¿Se acuerdan que la Major pasada estuvo baneado? Zack. Y también es un equipo muy joven, 9Z, pero que Max y DGT ya tienen una Major encima. Y David también.
Now we obviously prefaced 90
Vitality, sí, Vitality.
But Matthew, how
siempre viste como que apunta bien arriba, pero se desinfla. Yo creo que igual esta Major está mejor que nunca. Sí, sí, estoy de acuerdo.
You might just say, oh, of course they're going to be supported by a crowd. Well, they have NQZ, his Brazilian, of course, they have Zach, we talked about it. But I think they might be in a position where they have to win the crowd over. I think they have to get the crowd going. It is something that Moses mentioned in that first interview we've had. If you are on the stage, if the crowd is behind you, but you don't give them any reason to cheer, you don't give them any action, any plays, any clutches, it might just fall silent.
¿Qué dicen ustedes? ¿Los BR van a alentar a 9Z? Acá se están preguntando eso. O sea, está diciendo como que el 9Z se tiene que ganar a la gente para que los apoye. Sí, NQZ es el upper nuevo, es de Brasil.
For picks, he's going for plays and stuff, and I think even now with the support from the crowd and the Brazilian fans and stuff, that's the moment where he should, step up his game and, put up a good performance. Also, is going to help his team, to hold the nerves and everything, so yeah.
I think what makes me extra excited for 90 as well is just looking back to their RMR journey, because they had to withstand some true tests, a lot of overtime games going down as well against the likes of 00 Nation, the likes of Imperial as well. Managed to sway those all in their favor. Do you see that happening in, arguably a hugely different environment?
Brasilero argentino en todo
I
caso.
think at this point they've earned
Buenos días, Fabri.
when it comes to their resilience and their mental fortitude. I think they've already established that. If we go back down memory lane for a second, Antwerp RMR, it's 0-2 for 9Z, and they actually fight back all the way to make it to the challenger stage, which was in itself a huge display, a huge feat. And now in this RMR road to Rio, they've had a couple of situations where they had to fight back. It was the case against Imperial, it was the case against 00
Es muy difícil de conseguir la casaca de 9Z.
Rookies and newcomers and whatnot. There's actually some they have some in the
Es re complicado. Ojalá, me gustaría tenerlo. Mi pick quedó igual. No cambié mi pick. Lo dejé Imperial, Vitality, OG, Outsiders, Vitality, Cloud9, Furia, Greyhound 03 y Big 3-0.
Obviously, you do feel a little bit nervous when you go up against those guys. And then for them to show that mental fortitude, as you said, to be able to grind those games back and stuff like that, I think that's a very good sign for
Ya
a relatively
está,
young
ya arranca,
team
gente,
on
ya arranca,
Wednesday.
ya
So I
arranca,
don't
ya
think,
arranca.
now competing against GamerLegion, for example, who is also a pretty young team with new players playing the first major ever in their careers, I think that's in their advantage.
And that's the spin I want to put on this game. Because if we focus on GamerLegion for a second, where they got our attention was in these games against Fase, when they
Están
had these
calentando.
times the game against Spirit, right? Very high caliber teams, where GamerLegion went out of their ways to overperform and surprise everybody. 9Z doesn't really fit that narrative. 9Z is a tricky team to start your campaign on, because if you go up at the stage and you're up against Vitality, you might find yourself in this role like, come on, we're gonna show them we can, fight with the big dogs. You're playing 9Z. So if for 1 second you just let that, get into your skin and have that 10% less focus or any dedication that is.
Qué locura, es la primera vez en la historia del Major. Lola Fran, qué grande. Es la primera vez en la historia del Major que va a haber hinchada en las fases previas. Nunca hubo en la fase de Challengers hinchada. La gente.
His RMR road was absolutely phenomenal in terms of his impact.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I think knowing Acre and having coached him, like, I think, he's the type of player that he's very calm and collected while playing. I guess that's kind of like a Danish style kind of thing. He's very like ice cold while playing, and I think he is one of the most experienced guys in the team. So like he has to for sure.
Es porque esto es Brasil. This is Brasil. Me hiciste acordar a Toretto en la película.
Just play his own game, because I mean, if he's able to put up the performance he did during the RMR against 9Z, I think they could be favorites.
It's a story of redemption for Acor. It's
11, son las 11.
Story that is
Falta
so
nada, mirá
singular
ahí
in
los pibes,
Counter-Strike,
mirá ahí los
where You have
pibes.
this player in the time tricked, then Mad Lions being catapulted under the spotlights, and everyone is getting excited about him. He gets promoted, if you allow me to use that term, to mouse, and then he lets everybody down. He lets himself down. He lets his fans down. The community is stacking up against him. I
Dale,
myself,
muchachos.
pundits on the desk, talking about how he's not
Vamos,
sufficient,
Buda.
he's not consistent, he doesn't have an impact. Of course it gets to him. It gets to him, but you know what? He regroups. He takes it as an opportunity to grow now. He's got that GamerLegion opportunity, and he shocks the world at the RMR. But it's just the first step of what could be a glorious road. and he right now has the keys to the castle. He has the stage. He has everybody looking at him, and he could prove once again that he has that redemption arc, and he is back on the stage.
Yeah, really a story of thriving.
Tiene que arrancar, tiene que arrancar. Vale, no me pongan más nervioso, por favor.
You talked about kind of the redemption arc though, and that was a picture you were painting behind the scenes, talking about.
Dale, loco, se va a vivir cada ronda como si fuera la última. Se festeja todo acá. Creo que arranca, creo que arranca.
I think it is. So let's get down and dirty. It's going to be 9Z taking on GamerLegion, the first matchup to open up the IEM Rio Major. It's Sadie Moses on the mic. Let's get it.
Yes, let's get it indeed. Let's get straight into it.
Sí, arranca.
Finally here, and it promises to deliver.
Arrancamos de CT, arrancamos de CT. Vamos.
9Z, GamerLegion, both of these teams are teams that are very much going to want to start with the 1-0, make their lives much easier on this stage, Jason.
Yeah, both very, very young teams in this challenger stage as well, and both very inexperienced in front of a crowd and on the big stage.
No sé que no sabe que la tiene
scenario. Max, he's going to have first contact surely any moment. Waiting for the peek. Up, Banana.
Opa.
First shot is his. Didn't realize someone was close. He's got an opportunity to back away. Support flashbangs are out, and he's going to maintain some aggression.
Bien aguantado.
Just making sure they have information at Banana and GamerLegion as well. Not being overly aggressive, not overextending.
Están ahí, están todos, están igual de tensionados que nosotros.
So far. Minute and 10 on the clock. Not a huge amount of aggression to counter off the Banana take, but now there isn't. It's all on Max. He's gone down. Chaos with the kill. He starts it.
Complicado, complicado porque van a pasar los 5 ahí. Ya rotó uno, está rotando el otro. Va a estar complicado. A ver, muchachos, si pueden pegar un par de balitas.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting out of this. No way he's getting out of this. It's just how many can he take down with him. There's the first, traded immediately by Shui.
Ay,
3v4.
Ronda muy complicada porque ya plantaron. Bien, buena. Bien. Bien. Dale, dale. Banana, está cantado, está cantado. ¿Hay defuse? Sí, hay defuse. Oh. Oh, no puede ser, no puede ser, boludo. Está bien, está bien, está bien, está bien. NT. La reputa madre, man. Ay, Dios mío. Está bien. Qué paja, boludo. Sí, no le llegaba a desfosar, no llegaba. Yo pensé que llegaba, pero no llegaba. Ay, Dios. La hicieron muy bien, ¿viste? La hicieron muy bien. Vamos, no pasa nada, no pasa nada. A ver, ¿qué vamos a hacer ahora? ¿Pidieron pausa los muchachos o no? ¿Pausa táctica o se está demorando, viste? Por ahí. No, ahí va. Bien forzadito, mirá. Metemos coat. Listo. Metemos chaleco. Latas. Tigre. Qué pendejo violado ese que la ganó.
Going to be some nerves. Isaac continues off where he left last round to find two. And Kios comes in with yet another one onto NQZ.
Yeah, no
bueno,
nerves
2 de 5 ya. Bien de entrada la. Quisieron ahí comer medio para sorprender, pero no salió. Calma.
As Buddha and Max try and work their way, Isaac still has eyes on it. He had the opening 2 kills. You're exactly right, though. A lot of players, a lot of inexperience here. Acor and Kios, the only 2 players on GamerLegion with major experience.
Complicado. Bueno, esta ronda Max supongo que va a guardar o va a intentar guardar. No sé si va a querer juntar algún arma. No, va a guardar, es que sí, porque la ronda que viene es full eco, no vamos a tener un pez. Hay que guardar.
And this major is much for them as a home event, I have to think, in so many ways. Sure, if they're playing another Brazilian team, I expect the crowd will be against them, but this is all together, right? If they've built this together.
It was one of the kind of the conversation points that we were having coming into this is how much of the crowd is actually going to be for 9Z, considering they only have one Brazilian player, they only have the Brazilian coach.
And it is a bit of a rivalry, right?
Argentine
versus Brazil, it always has been.
I think too, one thing.
Y ahora es eco pelado.
I mean, just straight up, I think Brazil is going to be in a certain period where with 9Z's playing like South America, they're just going to count him as part of the team. There's plenty of 9Z flags out there.
Oh, lo matan justo, bro. Max se ríe, Max se ríe. Se ríe, no puede ser, bro.
You're absolutely right.
La
Again,
puta
if they're
madre.
playing against a Brazilian team, some of the legends, I've seen tons of Imperial jerseys already, and there's a good look at our crowd for the Challenger stage. Incredible. But yeah, when they're
No, un segundo faltaba, literalmente. No.
I got to correct you a little bit, Matt. I apologize for it, but Max and DGT are Uruguayan.
¿Qué pasó?
And I know they would be. I know
No,
they'd
son
be a
un
little
stack,
bit upset as well because they were the first Uruguayan players at a major. Yeah, back at Antwerp. So, yeah, there's a lot of really cool representation on this 9Z team. And they've started doing damage in the Americas region as well. This 9Z squad is one that hasn't really caused any real damage on the international scale, but over in the Americas region, this whole year, since bringing in, you know, the Brazilians, since bringing in Buda,
Si hacemos un par de bajas, más que conforme esta ronda.
have some upsets qualifying from the Americas region over some of the big name
Una dig lo mejor que tenemos.
at various times. So they've been doing some damage in their own little part of the world. And now they get a chance to show it on the big stage. They're going to start 0-3 down in this game. And that's going to be interesting to see if the young players can recover from it.
GamerLegion, as you mentioned as well, had that great game against Fase opening up at the Road to Rio in Malta that went into 4 or 5. I think it was 5. Yeah, it was
Se la jugaron a B y...
It was a lot. And they had good performances throughout.
A ver si podemos descontar a este.
Because I would have been heartbroken if they didn't. They're a team that's been pushing and working really, really hard. So I kind of do lean toward them in this one, just based on how that played out for them and the performances that we did see. But 9Z can certainly surprise. We know that the Americas are Stockholm, as it were, for them. Yeah. I mean, look, there was a lot of surprises and a lot of teams that I think came in a lot more.
Cómo los van a buscar, la
9Z as
puta
well stayed
madre.
in Europe and has been doing a ton of boot camping since then.
This is like low-key, like one of my sneaker favorite matches of the opening round of this challenger stage, because I very much am like in a situation.
Bien, Buda. Bien, Buda. Bueno, Buda.
My head tells me GamerLegion's
Bien,
gonna
bien,
win.
estuvo bien, estuvo bien. Ahora arranca la partida, dale. Arranca la partida. Juega bien GamerLegion, eliminó a G2. O sea, por más que no sea un equipo con nombre, juegan bien. Escuchá.
The all-pros had so many struggles throughout his career back towards Mouse. Now here in GamerLegion at the European RMR just to qualify for this event, he was a beast. It's been amazing seeing his resurgence.
Yeah, and it's exactly right. They touched on it on the desk. He was a bit of a disappointment when he was on the main Mouse roster, but he obviously came off the NXT, the academy team, if you will, and had a ton of promise, just didn't deliver.
And really popped off years back at the original Flashpoint
Miren quién
season
llegó,
when he was
miren
on
quién
Mad
llegó.
Lions, and just wasn't able to
Dale,
transition
loco.
his style of play into the
0-3.
tougher competition,
Esta
but it seems
ronda
like the
tiene que ser
years where
nuestra.
he's had to kind of step back and reassess and go to Mouse.
Tenemos que empezar a sacar rondas.
He's found some new confidence and he's found a way to make this style work, found a way to make his style work. 3 players over at the B bomb site on defense for 9Z. DJT and Max pushed out towards sandbags, but GamerLegion going to start out applying pressure towards brackets up middle. Typical utility spent to maintain control. And a very passive defense for 9Z to start.
Oh, NQC no le alcanzó para la P. Oh, la puta madre.
DGT has to fall off this, try and play statue at spawn. Bit of a sliver gap. He's watching for utility. He'll rotate over to library smartly so that he denies somewhat.
Todo pinta que es A igual. Sí, 40 segundos. A ver, David, si podés inventarte algo.
So they want to let the time work in their favor and thin out this defense as best as possible. David's going to spot multiple as he runs the A4. He's got more bullets to fire.
Hizo lo que pudo. Bien, 3v3. 3v3.
And that allowed DGT to contribute.
Se van a plantar.
From library, bomb will still
Es
go
complicada esta
down.
ronda. Encima si la perdés.
They got to find one quick. I think this is a very tough retake. There is a kit on Buda. They've got decent amount of utility, which might prompt them forward. However, this is a lot of weapons, a lot of economy to risk early on in this map.
That kit is one of the 2 players.
No sé si la van a querer arriesgar.
As Buda gets closer. IEM is in a perfect position to strike, flash toward the pit. If he gets past the
Dale.
box, though, IEM's not
Bien.
going to have a chance on him. He's only will pop
Ah.
sees the second,
No,
and
no
Isaacs
puede
got that kill.
ser.
4-0 now for GamerLegion.
That position in graveyard at those stairs
Era muy
is just
jugado
so
ir a bajar
strong,
este
even
bal.
with the
Era muy
opening
jugado
kill,
porque
it's
ahora no hay
hard to
plata.
deal with, and your teammates can play off of it so well. Great 3v3 post plant for GamerLegion. They're up 4-0. And Shui, beautiful entry. That's someone that we talked about at the
Qué porquería, encima en EQZ todavía no pudo agarrar la P. Pará, Agu, pará un poco, pará. Tranquilo, calma, calma, 0-4. Las primeras 4 rondas recién. Ahí está, agarra la P en EQZ. No tienen muy buena comunidad. Primer es B1, es B1.
Max holding off an angle now with the Deagle has GT a little bit closer.
Sí, es B1.
Over to the back line,
Mapa.
AWP to fire. Isaac has been sharp so far in this game. 7-0. Talk about 007. He's 7-0. He's absolutely killing it to start this off, including the clutch in the pistol round.
Start a new franchise. Yeah, that clutch was massive. Good way to get started with young players as well. Have a big clutch like that. Now, NQZ does have the AWP. That's an interesting weapon on the board, but it's parked at the B bomb site, a position where they can easily choose to save it if things go wrong, and it looks like things are about to go wrong.
Está tocado, lo dejaron tocado. ¿Podemos rotar bien? Ay, el de atrás, el 2, el 2. Bien. Está bien, está bien. Igual, muy complicada ganarla. Le subo todo el mundo, Alex.
So 5-0 for GamerLegion. Obviously, that does mean, as it was this round, the maximum loss bonus. But an AK and an AWP, just get out.
Yeah, huge to have, actually. That's going to set them up very, very nicely with utility in the next round. Obviously, weapons are going to be just fine for 9Z as they come in on David and Buddha, who've gone down here. DJT can keep the SMG, so going to be a very strong 6th round loadout that 9Z is going to have to work with.
Tranquilos.
But now it gets into the, now you start getting into the situation. On a map like Inferno, you're on the CT side, you're down 0-5.
Los pibes no arrancaron todavía. Están
We haven't really seen that 9Z kind of presence yet on this map to give you some feeling that they've arrived at this major. This might be some jitters, and hopefully in these first 5 rounds, they've worked them out. This is where I think you got to call a timeout if you're Zach right now for 9Z. And you say, all right, guys, Zach being the coach, the most experienced player in terms of the number of majors he's been at, 3 of them, he's got to have a conversation here to get him to chill into the face of this.
Chill in terms of nerves, but maybe get a little more the opposite in this server, because there hasn't been a lot of presence toward Banana yet, other than Max and the pistol. Went out to get information. They've been sitting really passively back inside the site, and now with the loss bonus, the 2 guns.
Esa remera imperial es la mufa. Nah, viejo, ¿cómo? Seguir a de 9Z. Me encantaría tener una 9Z, pero.
A little more aggressive to get map control. But you're absolutely right. They call the timeout. Although it is a technical timeout, Jason. Just to clarify, I was wondering why we didn't have our music.
Era señora allá atrás mirando CS, que era.
One player in the server, NQZ, has dropped, so he'll be reconnecting shortly, I'm sure. But yeah, this is a tech pause.
Okay, so fix a few things, and we'll get it back underway. Either way, great job.
Ganamos al maestro Fall.
You know, we've seen the triple B set up for 9Z on defense a number of times already. You mentioned a little bit passive over there as well. GamerLegion's been able in these first 2 real gun rounds to just move up middle, take bracket control. Shui found that opening kill on Rap side. This previous round, they're able to just take it and slowly encroach against a low buy as well. So brackets have been an issue. That B defense, when you're stacking over there, they haven't seen a whole lot of attention quite yet. So GamerLegion,
si no se sufre, no cuenta. Es así 9Z. Posta.
He's rejoined the server. We've got readies all across the board, and freeze time is dwindling down. Round number 6 about to come in hot.
Let's see if they can get on the board in it this time then.
Tranqui. Ronda build. Hay que empezar a descontar. Vamos.
So underway we go. NQZ already looking down toward middle. Just to note for anyone watching in-game, Bulldog is NQZ, Banjo is NQZ. Sorry, is NQZ, and
I was wondering about that.
Now.
That was throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. Bulldog is NQZ, And Banjo is David, so there you go. Now I've got it figured out. See, it's confusing me as well, Jason, but yes, there's certainly lots of people watching at GoTV for this. I have no doubt about that.
Posteíto ahí en larga, esperando.
Saw a little update there on the side of the screen. There is a B stream going on, 2 matches simultaneously throughout the day. So if you're sitting at home, pull up a second monitor, pull up a second tab, open up the B stream. Mouths and outsiders taking place there. David.
Bien. Uno más. Ay.
Needs to smoke himself off. He knows utility's going to be heading his way. He's one step ahead of the Molotov, but not ahead of the bullets. It's chaos.
Tranquilo. Oh.
First, and he follows it to find NQZ as well. Down goes the AWP, but DGT has repositioned beside the box.
Espéralo.
To do so. Smartly backs off. Oh no, he had no idea, Max, that Acor was watching. And I was going to say, doesn't want to get caught, but Chaos chases him. Everywhere that 9Z think they have safety, they do not. They're getting caught out, but it's on to Buddha, and he needs a prayer in this one to try and wrap around the A1S to work with. Has the kit, has a nade as well, and there's unfortunately just too much to find. Crossfire set, Chaos completes it 6-0 GamerLegion.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy, a little bit too many assumptions from 9Z that in the 3v2, those players from GamerLegion are going to sit parked inside the bomb site. Utility being spent a little bit ahead of themselves, not well coordinated. And man, does GamerLegion take advantage of it. This is solid play from the international squad. Chaos getting aggressive here.
No se lo esperaba ahí.
And Buddha had just nothing to do. Crowd trying to get him back into it. This time it will be a timeout, an actual timeout call to talk things over. But 9Z, not the position you want to be in your opening game. 0-6. A goose egg still on the board. But they've got plenty of money to work with on the 9Z side.
¿Cuánto van a pegar esos pelotudos? Sí, que el viejo que le desconecte el teclado.
Yeah, well, and obviously this maximum loss continues to build up.
Tenés que una bilardeada tenés que hacer ahí si te van ganando. Y 6-0 de TT es jodido, che. Son muchas rondas. Además tienen muy buena eco.
Good nade. First time they try to get an off in toward Banana and they lose it. I think they're going to have to be more aggressive than this. And to be fair, GamerLegion hasn't had to be. This is the first time they've got to kill them, put Shui toward the top.
No nos está saliendo nada, loco. Nada, pero nada.
Attention to it early in the round because it's been there for free every single time.
Yeah, outside of the pistol round, this is the first time we've really seen them kind of go at Banana in this fashion. You could see 9Z as well. They've already made the choice to rotate back over and stack the A bomb site where most of the attention has been. And unfortunately, Shui's just calling a phenomenal game. The in-game leader of GamerLegion has
iba a tener que guardar ya, sí,
brought his team in
no
behind
podés
him. They're going
pelearla.
to have a free plant and a free 7th round. NQZ's got to be a little bit
Igual el GamerLegion lo que podría hacer acá es ir a buscar. Fíjate la plata que tienen. Pueden ir a buscar para descontar armas. Tranquilamente.
9Z is South American. I'll give up on my Zs today, and I'll go to Z.
Z. Yeah, I usually switch to Z when I'm in Europe, and I completely forgot that we're actually in the Americas at the moment because we're never in the Americas.
We've been back and forth on it. I'll switch to Z.
Perfect.
As much as it.
Está complicado, Fabi, la verdad.
To accommodate me.
Okay, I like that. Happy to do so. Buddha, he's accommodating the
pero bien Buda, bien Buda.
Going down. This is the first time they've had a lead, and it's
hay un par de armitas, pero viste, se pueden permitir porque tienen mucha plata. Fíjate la guita que tienen, 12K, 9K, 9K, 8K, 3.
The fact that they're able to sit back and find kills. So again, weapons are still there. I do think they need to do something to get earlier map control.
Yeah, cool little sequence from Buddha there at the end, but it's got to be a little bittersweet when you consider the fact when you're thinking about it and you're like, oh, GamerLegion has so much money and they're winning so much and so easily that they're willing to come for the hunt like this when we have 4 players surviving and stacked at the A bomb site for this much time. Here's the nade. Here's the headshot.
Bravo.
That's the second opening kill for Shui. We saw the huge one in the first gun run on Rap side. Once again, is just an opening kill, just delivers them a solid win. He's playing very, very well, creating the space for his team. And again, this time it's back towards Banana. And again, it's Shui.
The problem is, even with the AWP, okay, sure, he peeked before the smoke. They had the incendiary in the right spot.
Loco, qué rápido que nos hacen una baja también. Es impresionante.
But every time they send someone to Banana, there's no backup contingency plan to trade off of it. Even if he hits that shot immediately toward the upper, where's the slide from half wall? That time Max gets caught toward the bags. No one close enough to re-peek from CT and maybe trade that off. So they're giving it away.
This feels a little bit like some pressure on 9Z. It's really kind of making this very difficult. Yeah, this could be huge. He needs it. He needs a huge play. Only one. Shui goes down, but there's a quick trade.
I think he got caught shoulder picking on the first one. So they'll work around the bracket.
Más allá de lo que están pegando, 9Z no está bien.
Towards short side. IEM gonna. That's huge spray. I was going to say work out with his teammates. Good play from David to cover that. Unfortunately, he's gone down, and his teammate had 2 HP left on that exchange. So not much they could do about it. Again, another bomb plant. 7 is going to turn to 8. Buddha, I can't picture him winning this one out. He's just going to take that AK and try and get away.
Bro, 9Z's getting worked
Es
right
que
now.
te metan ya 8 de TT, boludo. Están...
Sí.
Obvio, le ganaron a G2 y son buen equipo, claramente. Pero 9Z no está jugando como sabe jugar.
Well, and this is not, as you say, young players. Home major in a sense that we're in South America. This could be tough.
We've talked about it a number of times, this idea of like playing in front of the crowd, the home field advantage. It can be the double-edged sword.
Yeah, 100%.
It can very easily. I mean,
it's positive, negative tilt.
Even the legendary Brazilian players from SK, from Luminosity, have all talked about it. Those first events that we had back in 2016 here.
Y mira, Paui, si remontan esto, digo que clasifican a la siguiente fase. Si les da para remontar esta partida con lo difícil que está, posta que sí.
Excitement of friends and family being in the area, excitement of the media swirling around it as well. It can be very distracting, especially for young and inexperienced players. And at the moment, GamerLegion is rising to the occasion. 9Z is obviously not.
Crowd trying to rally behind them as best they can. Again, though, no aggression toward Bananas, so there's not really been much of a address or rebuttal, but now an opening pick, finally, DGT going to take down Acor.
Get into it, boys. You got to capitalize on this one. You haven't had a whole lot of man advantages in this map just yet. This must be a victory. A 5-on-4.
Bien, David.
David got away with that. He absolutely had
Loco,
to get
necesitamos
that
confianza, necesitamos una ronda.
on the smoke at the arch side.
Wow.
If he went down, not only did they have the sight, they had hit, and there would have been a rotation back defensively. David was on his own and nearly gave away his position. Buddha will again toward the top side of Banana, but it's Max Doobies get one back this time. Tries to beat the smoke, he can't do it, but does decent damage onto Sui, and he body blocked the smoke in time. So he spotted him going to the side, he'll drop him, and now we might have a round for 9Z.
There we go. They needed it. They needed it. Oh, Isaac didn't spot that between the gap and the smoke. DJT's got it.
Bien, necesitamos una rondita ahí para agarrar confianza.
And channel that. Listen to the crowd and use it.
Qué lindo toda la gente ahí, qué lindo. Hermoso.
When Buddha knew he had to save previously. Now, all right, now you've got something going, and it all starts on this opening pick from DGT.
Yeah, who almost didn't get it. He took that little bit of a peek. I don't think he realized quite how blind Acor was.
Double peek as well because of the AWP, right? You see an opera, you don't necessarily want to go back for that.
That could have very easily gone wrong. Nice win. Get the first one behind you. See what you can build off of it.
Sí, loco, dale. Hay que empezar a descontar, pero tranquilo, loco, tranquilo, si saben jugar mejor que esto. Bien, lindo de esto. Cómo les gusta jugar agresivo. Me da un miedo cuando hacen eso, man. Bien. No tenemos más granada, hay una granadita. Puedo bajar a 2. 2 a 17 HP.
Max. Damage is one thing, but with AKs and AWPs, you've got to finish them off. The potential is still there for GamerLegion.
Great early damage, though. They can clean a lot of this up. Spraying through smoke. Multi-kills. No one's actually in the bomb site. Utility can lock them out. Oh, there's the peek. Aggressive through it.
Ay, qué pasa. Ay, no, lo mató. Dale, por favor.
Still finding 2 in return. Great trades on the entries. That gives GamerLegion something to work with. And IEM
Esta baja es clave.
is going to get aggressive and catch out DGT. Suddenly it turns, and guess what? Acor, 17 HP. He was one of the players early on that took that damage. He's still alive in this.
And the HP doesn't matter. This is such a hard retake, such a difficult retake. 2 flashes and a smoke to work with. You've got the money to risk it all, and at the scoreline the way it is, I feel like you almost have to risk it, but it looks like they want to back away.
Yeah.
9Z want nothing to do with it, so GamerLegion, despite the early damage, still going to find a victory at the end of the day. There were 3 players defending this bomb site for 9Z. And there were 2 players with 17 HP on GamerLegion, and they could not capitalize.
Yeah, the single smoke took 2 of them out, and then Buddha from Cautions.
Era para pelearla. Era para pelearla.
overextends on the fact that there's no trade potential on him.
And I think this is where the pressure of the moment is getting to 9Z. A lot of space is being provided to GamerLegion. 3 defenders, none of them in the bomb site. The defense is coming through the smoke with the flashbang. And just great trading from GamerLegion coming through this.
Para mí, ¿saben cuál fue el problema? Que no se pasó la smoke. El vago. Que estaba marcando en CT.
One round and then they lose the subsequent when they had a great chance to capitalize.
Time out.
So now we will get our first.
Bueno, gente, les aprovecho para mostrar una web que es CSGOStocks, es el sponsor acá del video. Voy a pausar esto un segundo. Les muestro rápidamente esta web, que está buenarda, Fíjense. Es una web que te muestra todos los precios del CS. Por ejemplo, si buscamos, bueno, acá tenemos un ejemplo. Operación de la caja IRA. Podemos ver el historial de precio en todo desde que salió. Fíjense, está a 20 centavos, ahora está $13. Podemos ver todas las cajas que han salido últimamente. Tenemos también consejos de inversión. Por ejemplo, acá arriba podemos ver las cajas, todas las cajas que salieron. Fíjense. La verdad, buenarda esta página. Se las dejo en la descripción si la quieren usar. Y nada, continuamos con esto. A ver si 9Z nos da una alegría. A ver si podemos una 5 ronda, man. 5 rondas para pelear match. O sea, pues si no. Como juegan agresivo, me da un cagazo a mí. Están jugando muy apurados.
Meanwhile, NQZ wants to try and pull this back on the other side of the map. He sits towards Boiler. Oh, he's going to see the gun barrel. Nothing he can do about it, though. They aren't going to peek that far. And he misses the flick. IEM's got him down.
Yeah, then NQZ is a big player for this team, and that's a tough miss. 2 kills for him, 2 kills for the Opper. Buddha's going to be up next, and he's got to take a risk to try and make a play to bring him back into this. Inside the smoke, around the edge, he's been spotted.
A ver, la intención era buena. Era buena la intención, pero... Uy, qué paliza nos estamos comiendo, che.
9Z looks scared of fights at the moment. They look afraid to take fights. They look like they've made the decision in their head, and their heart isn't really in it.
The crowd could be their heart if they can rally them and get some momentum going.
Para mí están jugando muy agresivo. Desde entrada igual. Fíjate que la primera forzada de 9Z ya rushearon medio. Está bien. Para sorprender puede ser, pero están repitiendo mucho. Igual los locos están pegando una banda, los del otro lado. Gracias, Gustavo, por esa membresía, papá. Vas a estar participando por sorteo de skins semanalmente. Oh, por favor, unas ronditas más, loco. Por favor, te lo pido. Oh, encima no. Soy un boludo, no puse bien las animaciones del... Nada, ya lo corrijo en el tiempo muerto. En el cambio de lado.
Something that you can grab hold of to rally the team around.
Me encanta que está Gaules ahí de fondo. Debe ser tipo un fanfest.
David and DGT.
Vamos, viejos, vamos.
Max with the crossfire. He's gone down, but that just takes the aggro. Good trade back. Isaac able to take David, and then Acor slides out. AWP, they've lost the advantage they had, and they've lost the shot. They've missed it toward IM. They could have controlled the pit with that shot, but he couldn't hit it, and NQZ is struggling this game. Acor's going to sit and just take him out. He's only got 2 kills so far. As the Opera on the CT side, Buddha on the flank.
Y lo va a ir a querer ganar, o sea.
The swing. Molotov down. Don't take a tick from that. They'll hear it.
Ay, lo quemó.
He walked into it. Now they know. They're both close enough. IM's not even going to be looking down that hallway anymore. Smoke out will confirm, but he wants to try. Ooh, we got lucky on that. I was going to say to isolate the pit. IM missed a chance to put him down early, and now he can push through the smoke. He knows it too if he can avoid the balcony. I think he lost track of where he was.
Yeah, I do too.
Jumps up. He hits this. He can turn. He knows, but it's good timing from IM. That would have been a huge clutch to win.
La puta madre, loco. 11-1, men, 11-1. Pero ni el más pesimista pensaba esto, man. Hasta las casas de apuestas pagaban 2-2, una cosa así.
And a near impossible 1v2 from Buddha. A dangerous crossfire in his own smoke, I think at the end of the day betrayed him.
Este 9Z, sí, igual piensen esto, gente. Espera, es BO1. Es BO1, vos podés tener un mal mapa. Lo podés tener tranquilamente. Y 9Z ya está hasta tilt, te digo, fíjense. Fueron a disfrutar la playa. No deja de ser histórico para un equipo latinoamericano. 2 majors seguidas. Son pibes jóvenes, que tienen promedio de 20 años. ¿Qué le vamos a pedir? Que ganen la major. Qué buena. Ay, qué lástima.
They can rally it together, maybe getting through.
Now here's the other X factor of this as well. Remember, they're playing later on today as well. We do the redraws in the middle of the day, and then we've got a second round of matches. So I mean, if you're 9Z, you better hope this is just nerves that you can get over, and not just a bad day for the players.
2-2.
Good day for IEM.
Vamos a jugarla, loco. O sea, a ver. Una ronda más, una ronda menos.
Planted by Acor, and they get that down before David could do anything with the MP9. Now he's up close. If the op can find an opening, oh, he can't. David's gone down. I was gonna say, if NQZ can find something to pull aggro, he might have been able to strike and run in. He knows there's one.
No se muere, dale. No, se me traba todo encima. ¿Fue solo a mí o se cayó todo? No. Ahí está, ahí volvió la puta madre.
And that took everything away from them. I mean, 9Z obviously they have to buy.
Sí, gordo, sí, no, impresionante, no se puede creer, o sea, pero ni el más pesimista pensaba esto. 11-1 de TT encima. Si vos me decís ST, hasta te puedo llegar a entender, comillas.
11 round lead for GamerLegion. They've had everything they've wanted in every part of the map.
Flash over.
Vamos forzadísimo.
Again, banana.
Primera baja para Gamer.
Shui already taking some shots in toward the trash position at smoke. Buddha with a 5-7 this late in the half.
Segunda baja y va a ser ronda 13 para GamerLegion y no veo manera de remontar esto, gente. ¿Qué quieren que les diga? O sea, me encantaría poder soñar. El tema es que estamos de CT comiéndonos esta paliza. Hay que decir que es muy mentiroso el score de Buddha. No se lo va a esperar.
Oh, David's got another one of those on the map. Kiaz, did he see it? Oh, he knows now. He knows now. Waiting to see if there's going to be a second. Biding his time. There's the crowd cheer, and Kiaz just takes it. Calm and clinical. They know David's in pit. Max has shifted away from the action. And GamerLegion once again going to find the B bomb site. Although I think he got the information. Might have heard a footstep. Might have just had a sixth sense. Plenty of damage done. Wow. And he's even found David.
Nice re-peek toward top mid. 14 now for IM. So just having an
sí, el
game.
equipo anda
3 kills only for him.
Apagado.
And he's out of this one. No question.
Sí, para mí están nerviosos o algo. Sí, eso seguro.
They have the same kind of idea. They know you're going to go for it.
Oh, he got it. He's able to press E from that range.
Go Gadget arms.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows the max distance.
I like it.
So he'll get away with that, no question. Try and stay alive, and I think he will. They're not really pursuing too aggressively.
Bueno, ronda 13 para GamerLegion y
última
ronda del lado CT para 9Z.
Back at the Americas RMR, 9Z had some very impressive comebacks in their games.
Yes.
They had a comeback against Imperial that they ended up winning, and I think that looks like, my notes say, I think double or triple overtime. They started 2-13 down at halftime. They came back all the way to force over OT, ended up winning that.
Sí, está diciendo el relator que combaquea mucho 9Z, pero me parece una locura esto, combaquear esto.
15-14 and ended up winning in overtime. So, I mean, this is a team that has shown some resilience. And I think, unfortunately, if you're a 9Z fan, that's really the only prayer you got left in
Hay que
this
decir que es
map,
mentiroso el
is that
resultado.
resilience.
Hay
Is
muchas
that
rondas
miracle
close
comeback.
que...
It's something. If you've got to look for something
Pero bueno,
to
se define por detalle muchas veces.
But unfortunately, I'm not sure I'm convinced or compelled to make it an argument in that
I'm not
direction
either. I'm
based
just,
on
you
how
know,
this one's going.
just got to throw him a cookie out there, you know?
Well, they are putting a little more aggression toward Banana this time with some deeper utility, and they'll leave an anchor there in the form of Buddha. He's already on 41. But finally, we're starting to see that early rotation from 9Z. More standard to the meta of Inferno. Good shot by
Qué fácil que la hacen los otros dos rival. Flash, entras, listo, fragueas.
Point. He's going to see them now. Okay, back off and call for a rotation back the other way. Who's it going to be? They're not going yet. I think where he's on
Estás
41,
solito en
he's
B.
probably going to want a teammate to get there sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow, and you got to imagine at this point in the game when you're down 13-1, I think communication has got to probably be a little bit flat. Not a whole lot of proactivity on the map. Everyone's feeling a little bit scummy.
And if they're already slow to react based on the call from their teammate, now with that smoke going down where they were, there's no rotation coming at all. This is over.
Yeah, that kill's huge, but also he spots the boost, so he's like, look,
Ronda
there's
14
two players on
para
ramp, so you probably more than likely
GamerLegion.
only have one guy at the B site, and they found access once
Uno debía
again,
que
bomb
dos
being planted.
Uni.
It's looking like a 14-1 half.
I think it is. I think 9Z, where they didn't rotate early enough, they weren't convinced that there was enough at Banana, but I mean, obviously we see more than them, but as soon as the smokes went down, that like confirmed their suspicion that it was a fake. The problem was they got faked by the fake. So IEM is going to get one, but Max will get the kill in return. 13 HP,
Ronda 14 para GamerLegion, gente. La verdad, una lástima empezar así. Todos esperamos un match mucho más parejo, ¿no?
Absolutely dominant and yeah, absolutely loving their first time on the stage here in Rio. 9Z not so much. We're going to take a break, see if they can get their thoughts together. Maybe that
Bueno, gente, aprovecho para decirles en el break que pueden entrar a mis referidos ahí en la página CSGO500 y CSGOpolion con el código Cirito. Van a estar ganando $medio en skins para apostar. Van a poder retirar también. El link está en la descripción. En el blog pueden ver las dos páginas. Sí, la verdad que tremenda paliza. Sí. Nada, en 3 minutos volvemos a la otra mitad que, no sé, tiene que venir Dios e iluminarlos para combaquear esto. Yo creo que son nervios también, sí, por supuesto. Es muchísimo. Sigan jugando la File y no, nada, pero hermano, ¿para qué entras a ver si vas a hacer tan mala leche, man? O sea... Bueno, gente, tranquilos. Si pierden no pasa nada, ahora les voy a mostrar. Queda mucho Major todavía por delante. Fíjense. Matches. Acá, el que pierde acá va a jugar contra otro perdedor, por ejemplo, qué sé yo, Outsider que pierde ahora. Y lo van a jugar a partir de las 5 de la tarde, me parece. Una cosa así. Estoy leyendo el chat y me río, bro. ¿Cuál sería una buena técnica para cambiar la cabeza después de un partido así? Y mirá, 14-1. O sea, ya es casi imposible ganar este match. Entonces yo les diría que tratés de sacar la mayor ronda posible, dejes una buena imagen. Nada, intentés lo mejor y... Nada, que para el próximo match, o sea, que te trates de sacar todas las ansias ahora. Y para el próximo match estar más tranquilos. Para mí les jugó muy en contra de la presión, porque a GamerLegion no creo que sea mucho más que 9Z. Nos están pasando por encima en este mapa. Si juegan un BO3 no creo que sea de la misma manera. Al ser un BO1 te puede pasar esta cosa. Un mal día de un equipo. O sea, a ver, gente, piénsenlo así. ¿Se acuerdan Cloud9, que era el equipo número 1 del mundo? ¿Se acuerdan en la Major pasada? ¿Se acuerdan de eso? Mientras no me arranque esto, no, un minutito tenemos. Les quiero mostrar. Esto fue en mayo. Fíjense. El equipo favorito a ganar la Major se come un 1-2 con Imperial. Y se va 16-3 cogido en el último mapa. 16-3 te meten. No es muy diferente al resultado que está sucediendo ahora. Imperial, todo bien que tiene jugadores históricos, pero es un equipo tier 2 para abajo. O sea, sin desacreditar a Imperial. Les tengo la camiseta de Imperial. Pero te pueden pasar estas cosas, gente. O sea, son partidos, son matches que vos te sentís mejor o peor y te hace la diferencia. Que tiene una buena técnica. No, este vago es increíble. Qué risa que me da. Nada, gente, aprovecho una última publicidad para CSGOStocks. Buenarda esta página, se las dejo en la descripción. Me está sponsoreando este directo, así que totalmente recomendado. Pueden ver, nada, por ejemplo acá, el AK-47, todos los precios, la cantidad de vendidos por hora. La verdad que buenísimo. Ya les dije, bueno, estas son las gráficas. Pueden ver armas también, fíjense acá. Todas las pistolas que hay, todas, en realidad todas las armas que hay. Cuchillos, guantes, la cantidad de guantes que hay de cada uno. Pueden ver análisis inclusive de inversiones, si ustedes quieren invertir en algo. Hasta hay un post mío acá. Este es un post mío, después si lo quieren leer, pero Cirito, octubre de 2021. Ah, gente, creo que ya arranca esto, así que continuamos.
Backs against the wall. We mentioned those comebacks back at the RMR. This might be a little bit too much. 1-14, a 13-round deficit. Let's see what 9Z can bring out in the pistol round on their own T side. Heading up banana. And it's quick, it's aggressive, much more fast pace. Good counter utility to slow.
Ay, ¿no lo vieron? Sí lo vieron.
The follow-up is there as well. And now Shuey has it all.
Vale, córranlo.
Sit back at new box. Good start. Exactly what 9Z need. Now
Bien,
trade
bien,
off.
bien.
IEM was able to get in to get DGT, but
Vamos, Nancy.
NQZ with the kill that
Tranquilo,
was much
tranquilo.
required.
3v1.
This could have been a 2-on-2 otherwise. Buddha to plant.
And because of the boost up, they know the second player is here. They know Isaac has already arrived.
Buddha tries to bait him. No one able to swing in.
Bien,
Okay, fair
vamos.
enough, Max. Good
Vamos.
shot. I was going to say, to swing and actually deny him access. But accuracy from afar will do the
Vamos,
job.
arriba ese like, loco, arriba ese like en el directo, dale. Ahí me... Ay, perdón, gorda, no puse, me olvidé de ponerlo para que se vea la notificación. Gracias, igual, te quiero mucho. Miembro por 7 meses. Bueno, van a forzar como locos estos. Y sí, que no van a forzar. Tranquilo, muchachos, tranquilo.
Round 17, second in the second half.
I think that's what I'm most looking forward to at this event in particular. This is a bit of a celebration.
Pues me da un miedo la Diglo.
Have a festival atmosphere, I think, in so many ways.
A puta madre, boludo. No, no puede ser. No.
Not what you would have expected inside the smoke. A bit of chaos indeed, because it's Sui that gets 2. Now they'll get back in and control it.
Ay, Dios, cómo me hacen sufrir, hermano.
David on 20. This Deagle could be absolutely menacing. NQZ as well. 75 HP bomb is to be planted, but he's not confident doing it because no smoke towards CT. And if he peeks out too soon, there's a clear line of sight, not only for this Deagle, but, well, I was going to say for the scout, he wants to get aggressive and get combative as Isaac's going to swing around with that Deagle. He should have a clean shot to bomb, but he's been too late.
Los va a esperar, lo espera en el buceta.
They've made this a somewhat winnable situation. 40 seconds, they don't have to overcommit to the bomb plant, so that is somewhat favorable because that means he can. Oh, he can! I was going to say ice.
Vamos.
NQZ holds on.
Ay, Dios, cómo me hacen sufrir, boludo.
Good for him. It's been a tough game for the sole Brazilian in 9Z.
Cuando acá risa me da leerlo a Agustín, boludo. Por Dios.
Averting disaster at least
Se puede
for the
ser tan
moment.
imbécil.
Some fine 5-7 work from Shuey
Vamos,
to get a
viejo.
double kill. Make this possible, but a good recovery out of the madness from 9Z.
Vamos, súbanse la moral, dale, loco.
All right, 2 in a row. Not the most concise way of doing it, but they do it either way. So now, let's see if they can keep building. This fans, this crowd really.
Qué linda la gente, qué lindo. Así se vio el CS acá, boludo. Esto no lo vas a ver nunca en Europa.
I think, as is the case with those 2 rounds, they just want something to cheer about.
Well, I think too, like, also, this has been a conversation in the past as well, is the difference between being able to dictate some of the action on the T side versus having to kind of wait for the action on the CT side. It's one of the nice ways to get the nerves behind you is to be able to take the initiative and be able to call where the action is going to come and be able to direct the flow of the action on the T side. And if anything, it is going to get
Está a definirse eso, Bruno. Eso está a definirse. Gente, un buen like, por favor. Si te gusta el directo, buen like. Eu acredito.
Oh, it's so good.
Bueno, primera ronda seria de este lado, digamos. Además de la pistola.
The youngest team in the challenger stage as well.
That's true. I mean, they said that. I know the interview was a bit disheartening considering they say don't sleep on us. You know, we've been waiting so long for this and the scoreline at the time. But yeah, I mean, they did say that. We are the youngest team. We're new to Counter-Strike at this level, especially at this level. So they know that they're in that position, and this is definitely a ton of experience they can move forward with, but that doesn't excuse the fact that they want to make this a contest. So
mal, cuando juega Imperial va a ser una locura.
We'll see if they can capitalize on
Oh,
I was going to say an early trade. Unfortunately,
lástima, loco.
Shuey is able to get back out and find Buddha as well. Back over toward Emo.
Muy difícil ganar esta ronda, ¿no?
Repositioning as they still put.
Bien.
Ooh, he was just over the mark. I was going to say still put aggression toward the coffins, but sliver
Vamos,
gap and
planta,
David makes no
pibe.
mistake on it.
Yeah, trying to find a sweaty little offense.
Nada.
A little bit too
¿Tenemos
far
mock?
out.
¿Tenemos lata? ¿Algo? Sí, tenemos mock. ¿Tenemos mock? ¿O no?
GamerLegion want to go for
Sí,
this.
una
Isaac's
mock.
coming in for the flank, but
Perfecto,
DJT's going to nail
bien.
him. Rip his head
Listo.
clean off, a follow-up smoke, and I think that might be the one. Acor's got an AWP. You might want to back away from this. There's no kits on the GamerLegion side to make this retake possible.
Van a jugarla igual, creo. Y con la
This might be
ronda
the
que llevan.
confidence of the scoreboard prompting them forward.
And it could cost them dearly.
Bien.
DGT puts him down. And Acor was there. He rotated over. He's gone. They're going to surround him. No
Vamos,
escape.
vamos.
5 rounds now for 9Z.
And I mean, look, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. Unfortunately,
Lástima que nos sacaron tantas rondas de CT, hermano. No nos pueden haber sacado tantas rondas.
Feel like they can get back in the game in any way. Good win for 9Z. Good recovery as well. Buddha finding the equalizing kill, bringing it back into a 4-on-4. And some fine shooting from 9Z.
See all the fans already, as you say, a lot of 9Z jerseys out there.
Calma.
And obviously a ton of Imperial jerseys as well. I think, man, as much as my heart goes out to Complexity, who started off 2-0 at the America's RMR, with them against GamerLegion, or excuse me, against Imperial for the last spot, it couldn't have gone any other way.
Yeah,
a major without Imperial would not have been the same in Rio.
Even as a guy who wants to see every NA team succeed, that would have felt
Tranquilos, no hay que subestimar esta ronda, porque tienen deal, pegan los locos, están de
They'll be
CT.
playing later today, a matchup against Vitality for Imperial to start things out. You gotta get through this one first. Good kill from Acor through the smoke and the edge of the hay cart. 5-on-4 for GamerLegion.
Bien Buda. Y solo B, te digo, para mí es rotar ya. Pasa que bueno, no pueden salvarlo tampoco.
15 kills, excuse me, 16 kills. It's David
Bien,
on
bien,
15,
Max.
so they are starting to get them. I said in the first half, despite
Bien,
the rounds,
Buda.
nice.
Bien,
I know it's
tapeado.
pistols, but that's a pretty clean one.
Bien,
That makes you
bien.
confident in
Vamos.
these situations, and now things are starting to add up in their favor.
Vamos, loco, vamos.
Yeah, despite the scoreline, there was still a few of them that were getting kills and accumulating some damage on the board. So now, this round, despite losing the first player, is pretty clean after that. So they
Dale, loco, les faltaba confianza a los pibes.
It's a 4-man survival at 14 to 6. Getting ahead of myself a little bit.
Some of that individual flair from 9Z showing
Está
up
muy
this
complicado
round.
igual,
Good
porque
shooting
tienen
from
dos rondas nomás tienen que ganar el Mercado. Les digo, 9Z gana esto, es de los mayores comebacks de la historia, les diría.
For the CT side, and a timeout is called as well. Gonna try and chill things out, calm things down. Certainly going to be impossible all week. First time out for GamerLegion.
16-14, 16-14 que digo. Ojalá. Mira, 10 ronditas y ganamos. 14-6 gana 9Z. GamerLegion, ¿qué digo? Sí, estoy drogado, gente. 14-6 gana Legion, así.
North American road to Rio. Saved 2 rounds ago that could have been possible, left them on pistols in the last rounds. And I know it's a long
Gente,
way to go still,
los que
but
quieran
GamerLegion,
$medio en skins, los invito a unirse a entrar a Polygon y CSGO 500, como ven acá en la pantalla, con el código CIRITO, 0 al final. Dale, loco, dale, vamos. Vamos, ronda, pero ultra clave. Ultra clave. Todas las rondas son clave porque si no, perdemos básicamente, ¿no? Ya no nos queda mucho hilo en el carretel, como diría. A ver.
I'm fine with it, with the confidence he's been playing with recently. Take it, baby. I don't want to say, of course, had a quiet game because he hasn't had to really do much since GamerLegion had everything they wanted in the first half. And up on the T side, obviously, sometimes can be a little bit quiet, especially when your AKs are finding so much success. But that's a cool way for the Opera to get into things.
No, limpiaste ahí.
For the CT side. Slow pace
También
progression
parados
of
los
Banana.
locos.
A minute, just over a minute left on the clock. And 9Z have already picked their final play. It's going to be a set execute towards the B-bomb site. Utility being dropped.
Qué
I think
tensión,
they want
qué
to go back
tensión.
and take bracket controls or some kind of presence in middle when the mid-smoke fades, just to make sure this defense stays honest. Make them second-guess things.
Está jugando, está pausado. Oh, estas rondas me ponen, pero.
Ooh, is this a fake or
Hay
it could be
3B,
a
hay
double
3B.
fake even?
I think this is going to be an execution. I mean, they've cleared new box.
Buddha's in here alone.
He is alone. Yeah, okay, bomb's going back. Bomb's going back. But Buddha's finding kills. He goes down immediately after, and the call's going to be made, and they notice it. They notice
no hay
that
mucho
there's
tiempo,
no
hay que
aggression
pasar o
behind it.
pasar.
They even had clear vision toward the top of Banana, so they're
Bomb's
on the
going solo
horse.
wrap. Bomb's going solo wrap. That's an issue.
Yeah, especially because they're arriving.
Nah,
They're going to be
la jugaron
spotting
bien.
him. They're going to
La
see him
jugó bien,
absolutely
Gael.
right now. I was going to say Acor's got it.
Qué paja,
Bomb goes
qué
down.
paja.
It's back point for GamerLegion, and maybe they got a little bit too far advanced on that one, a little bit
Vamos,
too far
gente.
ahead of themselves.
Yeah,
Ay,
maybe a
Dios
little
mío.
fancy
Pero
trying to
está
bust
jugando
out
con
a
las
fake in that situation.
leyendas.
Buddha gave them what they wanted as well.
Vamos a
One
streamear,
kill.
vamos a streamear
But it doesn't
Zero
force any
Nation.
movement
Para el
at
que lo
the
quiera
A
ver,
bomb site
lo
because
vamos a estar
three
streameando.
players were already at B. They still felt very
La
comfortable
jugó
with the
bien
defense they had.
GamerLegion. No es Z también, pero ellos la jugaron mejor.
Points for
Match point.
GamerLegion to close this one out.
Vamos. Último tirito.
Or shot down with the AWP, not able to succeed.
Es importante que los chicos saquen rondas aunque pierdan el match. Quieras o no, no es lo mismo un 16-6 que un 16-0. O sea,
Kia's just waiting to see if there'll be anything toward him.
Es muy importante para-
In the round. So much damage,
el culo
but
roto sigue
unwavering.
piqueando,
He
pero
still holds and
hijo de
fires through the
puta.
wall. He's got to be so careful not to get caught by a stray bullet even through that wall, or even one more nade. But fortunately for his sake, there isn't any. There is a Molotov left for NQC.
Un solo
The rest
mapa,
has been
Martín, sí.
used and deployed. 9Z not with a lot left to work with on this. If they want to try and execute, tons of smokes already deployed toward top mid.
Buddha again at top Banana. One of the bright spots, one of the few bright spots for 9Z.
Tenemos utilidad, no hay utilidad, no hay
In this
utilidad.
game here,
No,
gonna lead the
casi
way
que no
around
hay
the corner.
nada.
It's Acor's up with low health. and
Ay,
that's a
qué
slow-paced
chota,
jiggle.
boludo.
Acor,
Oh,
or
y
excuse
una
me,
bala
that's
estaba
Kiaz with
encima,
the
no te la
AWP,
puedo
double
creer.
up setup for the defense, and he's got the opening kill, missed the follow-up, but plenty of
Chupa
bodies
pija
here
el
from
Sony, igual cómo
GamerLegion
juegan
to deal
3B.
with this.
Caught nearly with the smoke out. Kios has to be careful. He's just going to stay hidden behind the pillar. That's going to let Shui go to work. He finds two. That's
2v4,
in this situation
complicadísima
because
ronda.
now they have a two-man advantage with 4 players remaining at NQC.
Parece
that
que es
drops
el
it all on
punto
DGT.
final del
And I
partido,
think this
gente.
one's going the way of GamerLegion. At a 16-6 scoreline,
Está bien, está
IEM
bien.
fittingly closes it out, and that is a
Está bien,
performance
está
from
bien.
GamerLegion
No
to
pasa
start off
nada,
this
no pasa
real
nada.
major.
Primer mapa,
You
gente,
gotta be
primer
very
mapa.
pleased about that one if you're GamerLegion.
Primer match
Obviously,
de varios
young
que va a haber.
roster,
Ahora vamos a ver contra
tough
quién puede
playing
llegar a
in
jugar
this
9Z.
environment against the crowd, and they make it look easy. Well done. Zach's trying to give his teammates a little bit of
3
motivation,
partidas y
saying, "Guys,
perdés las
that's just
3.
one game.
Si no pueden ser
We got
más.
plenty more."
Tranqui, tranqui.
Remember what this felt like. Remember the nerves. Remember that you got over them a little bit in the second half. We're going to come back later on
No
in the
pasa
day.
nada, no pasa
They'll have
nada.
another chance at it, but a good win from GamerLegion.
Tranqui,
We're off
tranqui.
to a break, and we'll be back with more Counter-Strike afterwards.
Claro, y además le quedan ahora partidos BO3, si no me equivoco. Este era BO1, sí, sí, sí. El primero siempre es BO1. Bueno, acá están los highlights, pero lo que a nosotros nos interesa es contra quién vamos a jugar el próximo match. Que puede ser posiblemente outsiders. Fíjense, creo que los perdedores se enfrentan más tarde. O acá. Una vez que dice ronda 2, formato suizo, ronda 2. ¿Qué es el formato suizo para el que no lo sepa? Ganás 3 matches, clasificás. Perdés 3, quedás afuera. Podés clasificar 3-1, 3-2, 3-0. Podés quedar afuera 1-0-3, 1-3 y 2-3. El tercer partido es de 3. Ahí me corrige Bruno. Sí, señor, sí, señor. Queda un partido B1 hoy. Este vamos a estar streameando luego, ¿no? Bad New Eagle Zero Nation, ahora en 15-20 minutos. Voy a estar prendiendo directo otra vez. Voy a estar prendiendo otro directo para que quede el match guardado. Y obviamente más tarde, que 9Z seguramente vaya a jugar tipo 5 de la tarde, también vamos a estar streameando. Por supuesto. Así que bueno, los espero acá en el canal en 15 minutitos. Voy a estar streameando Bad New Evil Zero Nation.